And then I thought, well, I've never been outside Europe. In for penny, in for pound, so...
Blake, we are back for another reaction to Would I Lie to You? And we've got another brand new comedian that I don't think you've ever heard of before. A man named Henning Wehn. Have you heard of him?
Nah, I probably wouldn't have even be able to pronounce that name, so you know me.
There is a bunch of good clips that we've been told to check out of his. I grabbed one of them. I don't know if it's like an earlier one or a later one, but this one is, did Interpol list Henning Wehn as a missing person?
Jeez, I reckon I'm already going to say yes.
Well, yeah, he's a random character. He's very, very funny. So let's hear the story of Henning Wehn and Interpol.
For 3 weeks, I was listed as a missing person by Interpol.
Wow. I love his accent already.
It's so good.
In the mid-90s.
Where were you? Had you actually disappeared?
I was in Morocco.
What were you doing there?
I was on a bike ride in Spain.
You were on a bike ride in Spain in Morocco.
Can I have a moment to chat with my client?
What happened was, I met someone in Spain on a train. A Moroccan
So hang on,
man.
was this bike ride in Spain happening on the train? It was like, because I know that you get those Spanish bike rides on trains in Morocco. That's probably one of those.
No, there was.
The story is already so off the rails in the first, 40 seconds.
But these other guys don't help too. Like, they jump on every... Like, he's trying to give as much information as possible, and they'll just rip him to shreds if it doesn't make a lick of sense.
For sure. And it's all for our entertainment, and I love it.
Bad weather, and that's why I took the train from the north of Spain to the south of Spain, because apparently, according to the local newspaper, there was better, more agreeable bicycling weather.
How did you then get into Morocco, though?
That is because I met that Moroccan bloke on the train.
Which Moroccan bloke? Yeah, does he have a name?
I can't quite remember, but it was Mohammed or something.
Mohammed the Moroccan, you met on the train in Spain.
He asked me if I wanted to join him to go to Morocco. And then I thought, well, I've never been outside Europe. In for penny, in for pound, so
you were picked up by a strange Moroccan on a train and agreed to go back to Morocco with him.
What's the worst that can happen?
How did you find out that you were on the Interpol list?
I realised only once I rang my parents, once I was back in Spain. And I rang my parents, and for them it was like someone found them from beyond the grave.
So why didn't you ring your parents from Morocco?
Because that man, that Mohammed,
You remember Mohammed, don't you?
Yeah.
He was the man on the train.
The Moroccan on the train.
The Moroccan on the train who invited him back to his house.
So and then when I was staying with Mustafa and his family...
From what port did you leave Spain, and into which port did you enter Morocco?
Question. Well, we left Spain, if I remember correctly, from Algeciras and went over to Ceuta, which is one of the 2 Spanish enclaves in the north of Morocco.
Good answer.
I think you've just clutched victory from the jaws of defeat.
How was it then resolved? How did you end up getting off of the list?
Well, hang on a minute, we're jumping ahead here.
Yeah.
What the hell
He's
did
allowed
you
to do
in
that,
Morocco?
isn't he?
What were you doing?
I was travelling with Mohammed.
My client is getting mixed up because at passport control they said you must have a passport. And he's getting a bit mixed up with the names.
Bravo,
I'm
Lee.
curious
Bravo.
as to the fact that Interpol has a missing persons list.
Yeah, no, what happened is my parents got involved and they got Interpol involved.
Right.
And I sent a few postcards, one of them, to my friend Mack. And on that postcard I wrote, I've joined the Foreign Legion. Probably see you never again, have a good life or something. And then, Mark, being a quite clever boy, so, okay, with this postcard I can have a lot of fun. I go round Henning's parents and say them something along the lines of, Herr Wehn, Frau Wehn, you might be interested in this.
Sorry.
That is so brutal.
Horrible.
Can you ever imagine it? Because that's not like playing the prank on your friend as much anymore as just destroying his parents.
Like, that's like you going to my folks back home and just saying, hey, I've been speaking to Blake and, something's happened to him. You guys probably should get in touch with the police.
He's joined a terrorist allegiance.
You would be disowned, like never spoken to again.
Oh my God.
That's too far.
This Mark guy, that is way too far. But, all right, well, it could also be a lie.
It could
So
be,
let's
yeah.
find out.
So your friend Mark
Yes.
used this postcard to mentally torture your parents. I'll make his parents think he's disappeared
So
forever
horrible.
for a laugh.
Where's German sense of humour?
What do we know about this Moroccan chap who we're calling Mohammed?
He hadn't been home for many, many years. And so we couldn't take the boat straight to Morocco. We had to go to one of the Spanish enclaves because he had to collect a suitcase full of books from a cafe in Ceuta.
Why did he have a suitcase full of books?
Because someone left them there for him.
But why books in a suitcase?
Well, it was back in the mid-90s, people were still reading.
So he went
Nice.
to a cafe in the Spanish enclave of Morocco
Yes.
to collect a suitcase which he told you was full of books.
Well, I suppose a friend of his left them there.
Yes, but
I
why?
mean, you know what it sometimes is like, isn't it? Like, well, I can't quite think of an example.
But if he could, it would be like that.
This Interpol list that you were on, can you just elaborate on how your parents got you onto it?
Well, they rang the consulate, and they rang all
Which
sorts
consulate?
of... The German one. And,
Which German consulate?
well, the one in Morocco.
They
And
didn't
the
ring
one
the
in-
police, they rang the German consulate in Morocco.
Well, that's how you would go about it, wouldn't you? It's no
I don't
good
know.
ringing your local Bobby.
What happens then with the list? Do you just... They have to tell Interpol, stop
Yeah.
looking for Henning. We
Yeah, I
found him.
suppose so, yeah.
Well, did they? For all
My
we know, they're
parents are
still
quite-
looking for you now.
I'm safe!
So what do you think, David? Does any of that have the ring of truth, or has he made all that up?
What do you think?
Yeah. Surely this is a lie. Surely.
I don't know.
So you know him.
I know him.
You've seen this guy before?
I've seen Henning before, yes.
Are his stories this detailed usually? Like, random but very detailed?
I guess he's a little bit like the German Bob Mortimer in like his randomness of his stories. So like those details, they felt so strange, but they also felt so strange that they plausibly could all sync together. Like I can imagine him in the 90s when he was a younger lad, just meeting someone on a train and just going, I'll go to Morocco with you. Like I wouldn't put it past him.
Oh, like, surely when you start hearing details like, I can't just use the like standard way of travel to get back to my home country. I have to detour and I have to go meet a friend with a suitcase full of books. Like, how do you know they're books? Because all you're really saying is, I've got this really, really heavy suitcase. It could be a dead body. It could be bars of gold. It could be like anything.
So the way I'm going to look at this story is I think the most ridiculous part of the story is he met a stranger and went back to his home in Morocco. I think that's the most ridiculous part, and that part is believable. And I think everything else falls into place that like his friend could have contacted his parents with that postcard and they could have definitely then like called and tried to find him and put him on Interpol's list. So I think that all falls into place. So I'm leaning towards truth for this one. What are you going to say?
I'm going to say false, just to play devil's advocate.
Yeah. It could be false as well.
Yeah.
This game, it plays tricks on you.
This guy's
All right,
good.
Should we find out?
Yeah, we have to.
He is great. Yeah, we'll do more Henning videos as well because I want to hear more of his stories.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I think it's so odd and inconsistent and unlikely that it
But
must
look
be
at him.
true.
He's so odd.
That's what I'm leaning towards as well.
Yeah, I think that as well. I think it's true.
Henning, was that the truth, or were you telling a lie?
Well, this story is true.
Yes. Okay. Like, okay, so many questions, so many follow-up questions to how did your parents handle that?
Right? Like, do you still speak to Mark?
Do your parents still speak to Mark?
Did your parents ever let Mark back in their house again after that? Because that is so cruel.
That is horrible.
Yeah, so many questions. I want to know what was in the bag. But the thing is, it probably did turn out to be books. And if it didn't turn out to be books, I feel like he wouldn't know. I feel like he just wouldn't even ask Mustafa or Muhammad or whoever it ended up actually being.
Yeah. Oh man, crazy. Why would you do these things? I mean, look, we're a little bit more privileged now, being it's a few decades on from the 90s. We know all the sort of scary horror stories of backpackers traveling through Europe and, you know, just accepting help when you're not backpacking as well, but hitchhiking as well, like as another big one. Oh man, I don't have no trust for people I don't know. So how do you have so much for people you don't know?
I know. But like, I've been there before. I've traveled before, and looking back, you go, oh, I put myself in very precarious situations.
Yeah, you do.
Just because you're kind of living free and you're traveling. I would love to have met Henning on travels through Europe, though, because he just seems like such a random person that he would take you on the most weird adventures, and that would be amazing as well.
Yeah, look, possibly. I don't know, man. I reckon I'd be the kind of type, like, if I met him, I'd be like, there's something wrong with him. Like, I can't, he's funny, and I get that, but, you know, even serial killers can be charismatic. I just don't trust him just because of how inconsistent he is with his stories as well.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was fantastic. Well, guys, thank you very much for recommending Henning in Would I Lie to You, because that was great. If there's any other specific Henning videos we should check out, let us know in the comments section below. And if you did really enjoy that reaction, check out our other Would I Lie to You reactions. We've got a playlist right here full of them. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for the next one.
See you then, guys.